Hey
BJ,
How's it going?
how are you?
Doing good, doing good. Right, let's see if we will get anything today. Still kind of sitting in these no trade zones from yesterday's weekly outlook. I've got that move on GBP USD. Also on EU. GU as well, or GJ. And there we go. Got some great opportunities after the market outlook yesterday.
I know.
I was not expecting that. Let's take a look. What's going on this week? Alright, nothing else until about 10 o'clock when we have FOMC member Bowman speaking, then FOMC meeting minutes. So it should be quite an easy day. Seems like we're just testing support here. And then if equities drop the current support that they're holding on to, that's when they're expecting that the market sentiment will officially turn bearish.
Yeah.
I feel like for us, for US 30, it's going to be around that 48,500. Other than that, it could just be liquidity grabs.
We have a lot of rejection there.
Some nice consolidations as well. I don't really expect to move on US 30 until the 7 o'clock open, so in about 30 minutes. Alright, we have gotten that rejection from GU on the current levels. Now what we're going to expect is some bounce back above 1.353. Let's see if we can get a move like that back up. For that, I want a 30-minute candle closure, so we're not going to do anything right now, but we've had some really nice sells in London session and the start of New York here. So let's see if we can get some retracement, some break and retest, or some formation here. And then we have a little bit more room to go. We're about 30 pips scalp. Same exact setup here. We have a little bit more room to go on GJ. Got a break and retest formation on the 4 hour. So if we can break our own highs in the next half an hour, we've got also around 30 to 36 pips to the upside. Potentially a bit more if price wants to fake out again, like it has previously. And then this pair is pretty much prime to come right back up into 155, even 160 area. So just bring that up, adjust that a bit to 153.8. Got an hourly candle closure, no top wick, which means that we close at the top of our range. The next one, barely a bottom wick, just breaking the highs, continue to push. I want to see price clear out of this wick rejection here, and then look for those buy opportunities to the upside. Zoom out a bit. We've held onto support here after a retracement and then a push. Resistance. Let's see what else price is doing here. Previous support here as well. So yeah, pretty much clear out of there, and then we got those clean buy opportunities to the upside.
Yeah, the decent bounce on the dollar index as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right there. This one's also coming up to a crucial level of 98.
Yeah.
If you can break past that, we're right back into the 100 range.
So I'm sort of expecting, like, things to align. As we spoke yesterday, with the crypto, gold, commodities stuff, let's have a little correction.
Yep. Hey Jan, how's it going? Alright, we've got that. We just looked at that. Let's take a look at gold. I do think that gold is going to overall just consolidate in this area here for a bit longer until we get better headlines. But if price can break past, well, this was in the weekly outlook from yesterday, so we got the nice move again throughout London, and then start of New York. We're getting a push back up to the 5,000 mark. It's kind of late in the game entry at the moment, so I want to see how price reacts at this 5,000 mark. If it can break past that, then we can look for those potential buys coming up into 5,100, but also understanding the fact that it's going to be slow movements, like the consolidation here. But if price rejects off 5,000, then we can look for those clean sells coming right back down into 4,900, or even potentially a little bit lower, coming into 48.40, 48.37, any of these. And if we do get a rejection here, then that is also a confirmation of this short-term bearish trend that we're getting and the overall bullish structure. Silver's going to do pretty much the same thing. It's just more volatile than gold. Can mark off the resistance based off the 4 hour as well, where the previous high was, which seems to be right here at 78. I'll just go with 75. 78, 75. See how price reacts there. Price breaks above that. Clean buys up to $85 mark. If not, rejection, come back down. Look for sells coming down to 73.35. Copper has also moved a significant amount, given that the US is increasing their holdings and their reserves. Got an alert hit on US 30. Seems like it's pushing up. We have About 4 minutes for this 15 candle closure. We're going to wait on that, see if the next candle can push right back up bullish. If so, we take the buys, take some partials here, and then continuation back up. For buys, I would target somewhere around here, and then we have a massive liquidity pool, supply pool, that is sitting at 50,250 up to 50,600. Well, it's to say 600 really, but it's 50,500 right here. So let's see how this candle closes here in the next couple of minutes.
Could very easily just come right back down.
Yeah, that's why we need the candle closure here. If I don't get the candle closure, then we're not looking for a trade here just yet. I'm being extra conservative with my trades this month because in the beginning of the month we already had amazing trades. Pretty much the goal that I had for this month, like equity percentage increase wise, we hit that in the first 3-4 days of the month. So I do expect that there are going to be some slow days.
Yeah, for sure. There's so many things conflicting in the market as well right now. So much money getting moved around, so it makes sense to be extra careful. Almost ended up.
Perfect rejection right into that little consolidation on the 15-minute and then a pullback. Alright, here's a new 15. We got a nice candle closure right above that area. This 15 makes a bottom wick. It can flip, break the highs. That's a clean entry to the upside. Coming up into almost that 50,000 mark. It's important that we break that high first, though.
We have that lower time frame resistance just there as well. A couple of wick rejections there, 49,800.
Yeah, like on the hourly here as well. 4 hour, yeah.
Still maintaining that bullish structure and consolidation though.
Mm-hmm. All these equal highs or even new high formations. If we don't get a setup here in the next, like, say, half an hour, I think the next time frame is going to be when the FOMC meeting minutes come out. This is last year's, but pretty much will tell you exactly where we're headed and what to expect, what kind of data points to be watching.
Yeah, it's there. Later on in the session.
Mm-hmm.
Could get some
Nice little rejection and pullback, yeah.
strong rejection, very strong rejection.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we've got a 30 close here, or a 15 close on GBP USD. Same thing, bottom wick flip back up. I would like to see a 30-minute support formation and then a push back up for the same exact buys coming right back into that zone there. Or if it can break below that 1.353 area, but that's only going to be a quick scalp. So if I get a trade on US 30 or gold setting up, then I probably won't be trading any of the currencies. EU is pretty much setting up soon too, if it can continue pushing back down. We've got about 10 minutes until this hourly candle closes, and then let's see if we can get some volume at the 7 o'clock candle. Alright, let's see what we got going on. Yeah, pull right back into the zone here. We'll give it another 20 minutes or so to see if we actually end up getting a move. If not, we'll see what type of steps we're expecting for the rest of the session.
Perfect.
Yeah, on weeks like this, I don't really expect that there's going to be a lot of movement. It's going to be a lot more just waiting for the red folder days or the day before the red folder days. Like tomorrow with unemployment claims, and then Friday is going to be PMI, core PCE, so an advanced GDP. So I do expect that Friday is going to be a much better trading day.
Yeah, for sure. We've had pretty strong moves already at the start of the year, so.
Mm-hmm. And sitting at key levels on the weekly, on the daily, on the monthly levels.
Yep.
So we're still trying to figure out
some sort of direction.
Yep. But even if you look at the price action on the daily, we're still creating those higher low formations.
Mm-hmm.
Today's the first daily candle that really broke the last three daily candle highs, or the wick rejections. And this is a pretty big range too, so if we do end up closing back below 49,700, then we just need to wait for a confirmation, 15 minute, 30 minute, whatever, get candle closures, not be able to break above the 49,700, and then just continue pushing back down. Look for a quick scalp coming down into the 450 area, 480 or 450, and kind of just be stuck in that range for the rest of the day. Alright, got about 6 more minutes. Let's also check out Transpider or any of our day trading stuff. First ticker that it gave me was PLT. It's also just sitting in consolidation. I don't think this is gonna work. Alright, then we have Mass. This one has made a nice bottom wick. Drop down to the 1 hour. Yeah, we still need some highs here to be broken prior to an entry. And then we have MCW. Nice breakout. We might have better trade opportunities here tomorrow if we can't get the closure here today. Yeah, looking at the 4 hour for sure. Seems like we're just holding on to a resistance here at the moment, so I need the daily bullish candle closure, the next one to continue pushing so we can break above these previous support and resistance areas, current resistance. Nope, this isn't going to work either. No, we just rejected off of a strong resistance here to the left. And then let's take a look at this. This one might work. We just closed above a strong resistance. Let's see if we can continue pushing. This one's pretty nice. Today trade as well. Yeah, this one's setting up prime. Gonna put that one on the watch list. This one I would want to see a bullish daily closure and then break the high to push. This one is setting up nice as well. Let's put that one on the watch list. This one can be on the watch list too. This would be really nice. Just need one more and then we can call it a day and then look for better entries. This one's too close. This one, we just work with 3 for now. Alright, and then we have, let's look at the institutions that are exiting any of the stocks. Massive capital rotation obviously happening here. So if they're exiting out of that, let's look into what they're actually buying. $7 million buy-in into Adobe. 118 million buy-in into Lam Research. Amazon stock as well. So we're probably gonna expect that to push up soon too.
Big set off that good.
But in the last 2 weeks, about a week ago, we had 1,000 shares that were sold by insiders, and 900 shares last week sold by insiders. So we're probably gonna see a better push actually happening in March for Amazon. This is pretty good.
almost pushing the highs on US 30.
Yeah, we got the new hourly candle. So what I want to wait for is if this is simply going to be a top wick, if we'll have enough volume to break past this, if this is going to be a top wick and flip back down, or if we're actually going to continue. But based off the 15, we did end up closing above the resistance. So let's just get the first 5 minutes or so. But it seems like we have pretty good opportunity to the upside. Just a mini zone. If we get the first 5 minute candle closure at or above the zone and the next one breaks the high, then we can have a tight stop loss somewhere around here while targeting the resistance up top. And if this just ends up being a top wick on the hourly, then we wait for the break below 49,700 instead of looking for a sell right up top here.
What about gold, Shanna?
Let's take a look. We're still waiting on gold to see if it breaks above 5,000. If it breaks above 5,000, then we're just going to look for a slow entry coming up to 5,100. Slow entry in the sense that we know that this is the move that will happen. But if it rejects that 5,000, or even somewhere up top here, and then pushes right back down, then we have cleaner sells to come back down and correct this bullish momentum into 49.50, then 49.25, then 4,900.
Okay.
So we're just waiting for both of these. We want to see how the first 5 minute candle closes. Gold seems like it's pushing above that 5,000 mark. US 30 just rejected right into that area. We want to make sure that we're not getting stuck in just a top wick on an hourly candle. Alright, we got the 5 minute candle closure. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So it closed above the 5,000 mark. Let's see if the next one makes a bottom wick and break the high. We got a potential entry here with a stop loss right at 5,000 or right below it. But as long as we can break above where the current alert is set, and then just look for partials along the way. US 30 closed right at the zone, breaking the highs. We have a potential entry here. Everything this week until Friday is going to be low risk. So I'm talking about 1%, 1.5% instead of our normal 2%.
Mhm.
I just want to see a little bit more push when we have an entry. And then the stop loss could be set right below the zone. Like right here. Let's check up on gold real quick. So we didn't really break the high, we're pushing back down, but again, quite early, so we just need to see if it's going to be a bottom wick, flip back up, continue back up bullish, or if we actually hold on to 5,000 as resistance and then come right back down. For that, I want sells right around here. So it can break its own 15 low and then come back down. Alright, another 5-minute closure here soon. I'm about to get a 15 soon as well. As long as we're at or above the zone, I think we're perfectly fine. But if we drop back down below this area and we actually start getting counter closures or even bearish counter closures below this, then that would be a no trade zone right here in the middle, and then sells right below 49,700. Alright, we got a counter closure. Kind of weak bullish, but right above the zone, perfectly fine, as long as we can continue pushing. This is going to be a 15 closure here soon. Alright, we got rejection of 5,000, so we might get some sell opportunities. Just need to clear out this so then we're not stuck in consolidation for the rest of New York. Yeah, this was pretty much all of New York session after this little move here. And then this happened in Asian. All of Asian. Quick retracement in New York. In London. And then this push down happened in New York. Yeah, so we don't want to be stuck in that. We're also just watching crypto. Not much going on here. Let's pull up Glassnode. We're still sitting in risk off, so I'm not really trusting this altcoin cycle index here. We're down about 26% in terms of market cap. Futures volume is increasing compared to spot. $900 million realized losses in Bitcoin. So these are traders who are closing, or investors who are closing their positions in losses in the last 24 hours compared to only 355 million realized profit. We're still sitting around that 50% supply of profit. And then Ethereum, same thing, 188.4 realized losses compared to only 12 million realized losses compared to realized profit. XRP is the only one actually that has more realized profit in the last 24 hours compared to the realized losses. Yeah, everything else seems to have much larger losses than profit. So it doesn't mean get into XRP just yet. It just means that we're not ready for a huge crypto investment. Alright, let's see. We are back above the zone. So this is where we're going to start looking for an entry.
I'm just waiting for the high to break itself.
I'm waiting for the same thing at the moment. But if it can break the high, we have a potential entry. I just want to take a look at what the risk to reward would be. Again, I have not taken entry just yet. Just letting you guys know. I'm just trying to check what's the risk to reward going to be here. And then let's say we're targeting like just 50,000 flat, just for number's sake. With a stop loss, maybe a little bit tighter, just so if it breaks below the zone, we're out immediately. Kind of want to use whole numbers here. It would be a nice 3-to-1 trade at the bare minimum, coming back into the zone here. Alright, we got 15 close. Let's wait for a bottom wick on this one. Gold is above the 5,000 mark. Kind of just hanging here, haven't really pushed past the alert. It's the same thing, wait for a bottom wick here, flip back up, look for the buys to the upside, and then target some of the previous resistance areas here on the 15. If we get the proper US 30 entry, then probably won't need gold. Give me a little bit more of a push. Then we can have a tighter stop loss and same exact TP. Okay. There is. I got 844. take profit, we'll do 50,000, manage it along the way, and then stop loss, keep that at 800. So instead of down here, because we've broken the high, I want to have a bit of a tighter stop loss. Or actually, you can bring it down a bit more. Just say something down here. Yeah, 790 is fine. So this is almost a 3-to-1 at a 1-to-1 take partials. Just check where that 1-to-1 would be here. Pretty much what price is tapping into right now. That would be your 1-to-1. So we're gonna take partials pretty soon, and then let everything else run into the zone. Once price taps into 49,900, I'll close a small part. Alert is still active on gold. We kind of just tapped into it and pulled right back down. We're on until this 30-minute candle closure. So let's see. Again, as long as we're above the zone, I think we're solid. Ideally, what we would want to see if we're going to get a longer term trade that we can potentially hold until the end of New York is price to continue giving us some top wicks, so then it leaves enough room for the next candle. Like, we're about 10 minutes out until this 30-minute candle closes, right? So we would want price to give us a top wick and then the next candle to give us a bottom wick and flip back up, kind of kicking the sellers out, so then we can continue tightening our stop loss. Depending on wherever the bottom wick is going to be. Like the current 30, there was a lot of bullish momentum, obviously given from the previous candle, because the current 30 has no bottom wick. So we would want to see the next candle giving us a bottom wick and then push back up bullish. That way, you take some more partials here and then you let everything else run right into that strong supply zone of 50,250. If we don't see that, then I'm just closing out the trade at that 50,000 mark or right into the zone, whatever that's going to be. I wouldn't be holding on to the trade.
Makes sense.
But that's just my conservative approach for this week until we get core PCE. we've got that continued bullish momentum, just need to fill in that wick, but we have a couple more minutes, so this would leave the perfect momentum for the next candle to give us a bottom wick and flip. Anything else that you guys want to go over before we call it a session today in a couple of minutes?
Good on my part.
Cool.
No, thank you.
Sounds good. We have about 6 more minutes, so let's just start slowly making our way through what are we expecting for the rest of the session. Again, pretty tight stop loss, so as long as we're above the zone, I'm still completely fine with this entry. I really wouldn't be looking for a re-entry until we're closer to the FOMC meeting minutes. They're supposed to come out in a couple of hours, and Bowman talking. So that's the only way that I would look for another setup. This entire week, it's going to be just like 1% risk instead of my normal 2% because I'm waiting for core PCE. Friday's going to be a heavy day overall. You have PMI, you have core PCE, and you have advanced GDP that's going to be coming out. And we've had great last couple of weeks, so just toning down the risk a bit more for that. GBP USD, we've had a nice 30-minute candle closure here. This one already pushed up into the zone, so perfect scalp opportunity there. And then as of right now, again, just wait for the 30-minute candle closure, wait for the next one to give you a bottom wick, flip back up, fill in that wick rejection. That's another scalp opportunity. But I do expect that overall much of the market is going to be a little bit slower until the FOMC meeting minutes come out at least. GJ also making its way up into 209.3, kind of a late entry at the moment, so I wouldn't look at that. UJ also playing out pretty well, coming back into the zone here, but I want to see price breaking above that, so then this would be more of my swing trade pair for the week. Gold is at the moment just rejecting into that 5,000, 5,006 area. So I want to see price breaking above its own high here and then continue pushing back up bullish. The current 30 has no bottom wick, so I want the next one to give me a bottom wick. The bottom wick is going to tell me that price is kicking the sellers out and where to keep my more conservative stop loss for the week. But if we do end up taking buys here above the 5,000 mark, then I'm expecting slower movements coming back into 5,100. I do think that we're going to ultimately tap into 5,100. It's just going to be a lot slower compared to the moves that we're looking at on the other pairs. So it's going to be a movement like this, which would require a bit of a wider stop loss. And then for this, we've already made a bottom wick into the zone, so we just need a 5-minute candle closure here above the zone. Next one, give you a bottom wick, which is going to be enough for a bottom wick on the new 30, and then continue pushing back up. Sounds good?
Yep,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Awesome. Cool, that's pretty much it. And then as I take partials, which is going to be again at that 1-to-1, which is pretty much this wick fill here, that's going to be the partial. If I end up extending out my TP, I'll let you guys know in Discord, or if there's going to be another scaling opportunity or whatever else, I'll let you guys know. But that's pretty much it. This entire week, just try to be a little bit more conservative when it comes to your risk management. Instead of looking for impulse entries, we want to make sure that we're really waiting for break of these certain resistance and support levels, especially if they're being shared across higher time frames as well, like the 1 hour, 4 hour, and all that stuff. And then wait for break and retest formations, then look for your entry and a continue.